Metal Slug!
There's never been an ice cream like it. Yo. Poof. Would you prefer limited resources be invested to improve the animal side of ogres, yetis, etc.? No. Or would you prefer to see the standard BCR ogres updated? I would actually, in order of importance, I'm going to be a little selfless here. I know I'm some ancient boomer ass pathetically clutching onto a first edition battle tome, but I just don't like the look of the Gutbusters. I think they deserve a refresh before we get one, to be perfectly honest. Starting with the Butcher Slaughtermaster, that shit can't be fine cast. It's not okay. Oh, let me get some music in here. Anyway, yeah, I would refresh the entire Gutbuster line. And all the fine cast from the BCR. If you have infinite goodwill and hopium for me, you can update all the BCR monsters too, because they need it. The riders don't look good. The monsters are monopose. You know, everything needs it really. But in order of importance, I would put all of the fine cast at the top. You just can't sell fine cast anymore. As Games Workshop, it's embarrassing, right? So get that out of the way. And then redo Gutbusters with an AOSified, you know, big, super creative, maybe a little too creative. It's kind of silly, you know, just something like that, right? And then get to Beastclaw Raiders if you got extra money to burn. And then maybe I'll really like the Foot Ogres, and then I can finally buy everything and play the whole Ogre army. I just don't really like the Gutbusters. That's the only reason I haven't picked any up. Don't really like the models, and they just feel like a Warhammer Fantasy army that's just been ported to this game, which is exactly what they are. The real question is, what sort of hunter do ogres need next? Yeah, we need another hunter who sucks. That's what we need. If you're going to AOSify man-eaters, what AOS factions would the man-eaters dress as? Cities of Sigmar, Fire Slayers, give one of them a mohawk. Stormcast, have him in ill-fitting, like, golden armor and stuff, and then pick one more order faction. Maybe I'd net Deepkin. Give him, like, a big fucking tuna fish with a big bite taken out of it or something. Or a swordfish he uses or something. Yeah, make him, like, AOS armied up, right? That'd be kind of funny, actually. Doc Maneater, where he's like half snake somehow, like a big ass snake, like a big ass snake bottom half. I don't know. You just hope when they refresh ogres they don't use the Cursed City ogre as a template. Same. Absolutely same. Age of Sigmar, rules updates, advanced rules addenda. Faction terrain. Some faction terrain features allow you to place a unit on them. This will be clearly specified. When doing so, instead of measuring range of visibility to and from the unit, measure it to and from the terrain feature instead, unless otherwise specified. Units on a terrain feature cannot fight, okay? And then army composition, regiments of renown. You cannot include more than one regiment now in your army unless otherwise specified in the notes column of that regiment's battle profile. Okay. Units and regiment around cannot use but can be picked as the target of, if otherwise eligible, any faction rules. Okay. Including enhancements and lores. Unless they have a keyword that matches the faction's name. Got it. If an ability allows you to set up a replacement unit for a unit in Regiment of Renown, the unit also counts as being part of that Regiment of Renown. Got it. Okay. Makes sense. Errata. Terrain. Universal terrain abilities. In the cover ability, change charged to charge this turn. Yep, that makes sense. Just a little typing up. Faction terrain. In the first bullet point, change in the charge phase and the combat phase to just the combat phase, okay? Manifestations. Sixth bullet point. Manifestations that have a move characteristic of 0 or dash cannot move. For the purpose of movement, combat range, being in combat, and setting up other units, they are only treated as if they were units in the combat phase. Okay. For the purposes of movement, combat range, being in combat, and setting up other units, they're only treated as if they were units in the combat phase. So when you're moving... So if you are moving, you can move into the combat range of a manifestation. Because that happens in the movement phase. And the thing isn't an enemy. Or it's not a unit, that phase. Am I getting this right? Units can finish a charge move within a half of an enemy manifestation that has a move characteristic of 0 instead of within half inch of an enemy unit. Okay, and then they add this so that it's not really counted as a enemy, but it kind of counts as it counts as. Got it. Only if it can move, though. People Company thinks a big prime for 27 months. Appreciate it. Battle profiles. Okay, just saying where you can get them. You must pick one hero in your army that is leading a regiment to be your general. Yeah, that is leading a regiment to be your general. Okay, so general has to lead a regiment. Makes sense. Carnith, thanks for the tier 1 for 40 months. Long-time listener. Appreciate it. Rules updates. Frequently asked questions. Let go. Alright. Commands. 4-0 shooting phase commands. If a friendly unit is in combat and is armed with a weapon that has shoot in combat, can it use the covering fire command? No. You can only pick units that are not in combat to use covering fire. Okay. If a unit cannot be picked to be the target of shooting attacks, an infantry hero affected by the guarded hero, but is the closest unit to a friendly unit using covering fire, do I still have to target that unit? No, you must pick the nearest eligible unit. Alright. Nearest eligible. Are faction terrain rule features still subject to the restrictions in the core rules 5.3, the rules of 1? Yes. No double maw pots or anything like that. Got it. Oh, what they mean is for dice rolls. Yeah. If an ability requires you to set up a unit more than 9 from all enemy units, could you set up a unit within 9 of a faction terrain feature? Yes. However, some faction terrain features, such as the Shrine, allow a unit to be placed on them. Since in these cases you measure range of visibility to and from the terrain feature instead of the unit, you would not be able to set up a unit within 9 of it that has a unit on it. Okay. That makes sense. When you garrison it, it counts as kind of, you measure everything from it, so you also have to measure this from it. Sure. That follows. Are faction terrain features affected by friendly abilities? Such as those that give units the ward keyword? No. Can faction terrain features use command abilities? No. Not unless that command is on the faction terrain features war scroll itself. Okay. Something else, manifestations cannot use command abilities either. From what I saw. If a faction terrain feature is closer to a friendly unit using the covering fire, a lot of covering fire questions here. If a faction terrain feature is closer to a friendly unit using the covering fire command than any other units, do I have to target that faction terrain feature? Can I choose to? No to both. You can't even choose to. Or some faction features allow a unit to be placed. If they are, then they are. Okay. Is it too late to ask what covering fire is? I can't remember. What's covering fire? Am I looking this up? Core rules covering fire. Command 1, shoot an enemy shooting phase, but -1 to hit rolls, and must target the nearest enemy unit. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Yeah, shoot an enemy... Well, not enemy movement, right? Yeah, enemy shooting phase. But you're -1 to hit, and you must target the nearest enemy unit. And so there's a bunch of... I see. So all these questions are like, what is the nature of a unit, right? What is the nature? A miserable pile of secrets. Yeah, I didn't know what the, I wasn't familiar with covering fire because I don't have ranged weapons that matter. And so I didn't pay much attention to them. If an ability or battle tactic requires a unit to be destroyed, like Blood Tithe, does destroying a faction terrain feature count? No. And I don't think manifestations count either. No blood, huh? I think I slightly disagree with that on philosophical grounds. Corn Sag. Just got here. Are we mad about points? No, I didn't look at any of them yet. Didn't look at them yet. Yeah, because they're not units during the end phase. They're only units in the combat phase. That's why, yeah. What about the Daughters of Cain or Flesh Eater manifestations? Yeah, or the corn ones that are filled with blood. But maybe you use blood to summon those. Do I need to use a retreat ability to move away from a faction terrain feature that has a move characteristic of 0? No, because they just set over here. Some faction terrain features allow a unit, then you do, yeah. Alright. Because it's not, it doesn't count as a thing in the move phase, so you're good. Can units in my army use the example spell Mystic Shield and example Prayer Resurrection from the sideboard? No. These are for Path to Ignori. They would be ridiculous, particularly Resurrection. They're not used in other battle packs unless explicitly stated, yeah. Good. And stay out. Power level. If a unit has multiple power levels. Multiple power levels. This is a funny. A hero that is both a wizard and a priest. And another ability modifies the unit's power level. Which power level does it modify? Both. Oof. Damn. If you have a wizard that's also a priest, that's really good. The absolute power. So hold on. Can we take a Slaughtermaster? Give him the heroic trait so that he becomes a priest. And then put him next to the Mawpot, and he's a double caster, double prayer.
Good job, King.
Dude, Gutbusters, stay winning. Hold on. I'm gonna have to look and see what the exact text is on that Friday when Destruction comes out. Deathlong Number, thanks for the 34 months. Appreciate it. Huge rules and points drop, yeah. Generally, the rules seem to suggest when casting, you can either be a wizard or a priest for the phase. Ooh, is that true? Yo, give me a rules number for that one, because I need to make sure. If that's true, then that sucks. And they might as well get a bonus over here. If true, that's trash. Are manifestations still subject to the restrictions and core rules? Rules of 1, yes. If an ability requires you to set up a unit more than 9 from all enemy units, does a manifestation count? No. Are manifestations affected by friendly abilities? Simply no. 0 friendly ability. Just don't even try it, okay? Can manifestations use command abilities? No, not unless the command is on its war scroll, alright? I saw a battle report or two that innocently just assumed that they could, but it is not the case. You believe the core rules say you can't cast and pray. Alright. Give me a number. It's not that I don't believe you, I just want to put it up on screen and then say it. If that's true, that sucks. That's bullshit. If manifestation is closer to friendly unit using covering fire, can I have the target? No. Alright. Can't do it. Okay, so this is rules updates, advanced rules. Oh, it just continues. Got it. If an ability or battle tactic requires a unit to be destroyed, does destroying the manifestation count? No. Wait, how come... Do these 2 pages seem to be saying the same things? I thought we answered this one. Oh no, this was manifestation and this one was terrain feature. That's why. Alright. I was entering a time loop. Do I need to use a retreat to move away from manifestations? No. Can I use move in the movement phase of the same turn in which it was set up? No. Army composition. If a hero is able to join another hero's regiment, the Shadow Queen joining Marathi Kane, or an assassin joining a Dreadlord, do they take the place of a non-hero unit in that regiment? Yes. Okay. So the 4 that you get from your generals is free. It's not like 4+. Yeah. You suspect Gutbuster List will probably run a Tyrant anyway to get access to Noblar screens, so you can give him the priest stuff if need be. You can't take Noblars with a Butcher General? I'm gonna have to look at all the rules, but from when I was looking at it, it looked like Tyrant was just totally... Like, why would you ever take one? Noblars don't have the Gutbuster keyword. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't notice that, but also because it was leaks and people were just typing stuff up. And a lot of them didn't talk about keywords. I didn't know that. Oh, that's huge if so, because Noblars are some of the best stuff you have access to. And if you have to take a pure tax hero to get them, that's going to affect list building a lot. Because looking over Gutbuster stuff, you don't want a Tyrant for any reason. But if you have to, yeesh. That sucks. And Tyrant is more expensive than a Butcher and a Slaughtermaster as well, by a lot, despite being worse. Okay, yeah. I thought Gutbuster list building was going to be fairly straightforward, but maybe now you have to make a lot of hard choices. Damn. We're flip-flopping back and forth between Matt Rose hates ogres and Matt Rose likes them. We're just popping back and forth. Frostlord can take Noblars, yeah, but you don't want those in the Beastclaw half. You want them in the Gutbuster half. And you don't want a Frostlord in the Gutbuster half anymore. It dies too easy. It doesn't really do anything you want, I don't think. Although maybe some Noblars can sweeten the deal. Magic rules, prayers and spells count together. So Wizard Priest 2 is able to cast 1 prayer and 1 spell, or 2 of both. Alright, no fun allowed. Got it. Thank you for the reference. Just take Kragnos, bring anything. Yeah, anything except 680 points of what you would have taken anyway. I'm very pleased that it looks like Kragnos is probably not going to go in Ogres. I'm very happy to no longer feel like I have to take that guy. Still good, but I'm pleased the shackles have been thrown off. Can I add units from other factions to my heroes' regiments? No. No. The only way to add units from other factions is by taking regiments of renown, yes. Matt Rose has withdrawn his longsword and killed allies, rightfully. And may they rot in piss. Making the regiment a renown system, hopefully it's pretty restrictive and nobody really does it. Which would be the ideal. If a hero's regiment option contain multiple excluded keywords, non-beast, non-monster, can it include units in its regiment that have only one of these? No. Yeah. That's like, how does English work the sentence, I guess. That's fine. Better to ask than get it answered, right? Battle Tactics 2-1, completing Battle Tactics. Oh, here we go. If a battle tactic requires a unit not to be in combat at the end of your turn, like Seize the Sentry, can I still complete the tactic if my unit is within 3 of a manifestation or faction terrain feature? They only count as being in combat in the combat phase, so if you're within 3 of any of these, you would not be in combat. If, however, you're within 3 of a manifestation that had a move characteristic of greater than 0, or a faction terrain feature that had a unit on it, you would be in combat. Okay. Alright. Manifestation cheat sheet mandatory at this point? Yeah. For whatever reason, they got it in their head that they should only count as units for some things, sometimes. And I feel like they should have just been whatever they are all the time, for all purposes. But maybe they didn't want you to just place one and block a lane and have it be you can't ever move past it, I guess. Which is the reason why they were good in the past, largely. The following rules updates in text in order to clarify ambiguous or unintended interactions. Oh, okay. Ambiguous and or avoid unintended interactions. Good, let's read about them. The minimum number of deploy abilities that a player can use to set up their army. This is usually equal to the number of regiments in their army plus the number of auxiliary. Fought. A unit has fought if it used any fight abilities in the same turn. Yeah, makes sense. Removed from play, removed from the battlefield. When a model or unit is removed, it no longer has any effect on the battle, though it can still be relevant for abilities that allow you to return models. Used. An ability has been used once it has been declared, whether or not its effect was successfully resolved. Okay, it's on a declare thing. So if an ability doesn't have a declare written on it, it can't be considered to be used. Interesting. I guess passive abilities wouldn't be used. That's why they're passive, and so it doesn't seem crazy to me. Yeah, and it can't be reacted to, because you react to declare abilities, I think. Dark Withering from Time Spiral. Friend claimed a 2-color creature was non-black, even if black was one of the colors. Yeah. They were thinking mono black. But obviously it doesn't say mono black, and so it doesn't mean that. Angle shooting, in my opinion. Change the definition of a champion to models' weapons have +1 attack characteristic. Okay. Change definition of underdog to player with the fewest victory points. If tied, there is no underdog. Okay. I don't know what the cleanup there was, but that's how I understood them to be before. Did any faction get mount traits? No. I am told that mount traits are for battle tomes, not for indexes. So a bigger portion of Beastclaw's power is kind of locked in the future, more than other armies that didn't have access to mount traits in the first place. So we got to keep that in mind as well. And then a little First Blood, Spearhead. Yndrasta's infantry, Lord Veritan's infantry. You can only use Seed of Rebirth once for that unit. Are there any restrictions for number of reinforced units? I didn't see any. I don't know why there would need to be any. You'll hit the ceiling on points way faster than you'll hit the ceiling on number of reinforced units. I should think. If somebody's got an example to point to, that's cool. But not that I recall, yeah. You know, the good part about reinforcing is we're on 3-inch combat range now. So it means everybody in there probably always gets to fight. You do a shitload of damage, and you're a huge squad. You get to rally back sometimes. The downside to reinforcing is when you're list building, you have fewer units on the battlefield, which means you can project power to all different areas a little worse. And your eggs are kind of more in one basket. It's sort of, you know, I think it's reasonably balanced. Some army rules lend themselves to MSU and some don't. There is no longer any limit to the number of units you can reinforce, but you may no longer double, yeah, you can't double stuff the Oreos anymore, or I guess triple stuff in this context. Yeah, you can take 3 8-man Iron Guts units. That's a fragile squad, but the damage. If a rule requires more friendly models than enemy models to be contesting, should I use the control scores of my units contesting the terrain feature? Yes. In these cases, the rule should be treated as the same way determining... Okay. So maybe one of them was still written in the models way before we had control scores. So that might come up. Oh, I didn't know we had faction pack errata. Very interesting. Cities of Sigmar Hammerers. Add musician and standard bearer. Yeah, they forgot about that. This one was an obvious, like, they just forgot. Because the picture they used for Hammerers, the picture of the model, has a dude blowing a horn. It shows the musician. They forgot again. Damn, I hope the Cities of Sigmar Dwarf update is really cool. Instead of just retired into Old World forever. I hope they get a cool one. Disciples of Zinj, blue Horrors and brimstone Horrors. This unit starts the battle with 10 blue, or if it is a reinforced unit, 20 blue. Each is armed with spiteful talons and arcane flames. Brimstone Horror models can be added to this unit using the Split Again ability. Each is armed with impish talons and arcane flames. Okay. How do you have an errata if you haven't even released digitally yet? Wouldn't they just fold the errata into the digital indexes? You know? Because that's what errata is supposed to be. The whole point of errata is a quick living document that the next print run should incorporate, right? So shouldn't they just put these in the index and leave them at that? This is for the physical cards. I always forget they make those stupid cards which ruin everything. Those cards. The cards are a good idea because it's like, oh, you have your information right in front of you, you know, like it's kind of good. But the fact that they hard print those means that you can't change War Scrolls ever, even though when you really should. And you can't incorporate your errata into all your digital products. I suppose you still could and should, but yeah. They already printed the card. Those fucking cards, ruining everything. Also an excellent illustration of why you shouldn't buy them. Yeah, because they're... it's possible that there are some cards that never get errata and they're just correct, right? Like, so you could do that, but I don't like them. Add the Disc of Zinch keyword to the keywords bar. Kyric Acolytes. Each model in this unit is armed with Curse Blade and Sorcerer Bolt. Flesh Eater Courts. Change the muster guard to pick a friendly courtier hero that has one or more noble deeds points. Then pick a friendly unit holy than 12. Okay. Spend any of that hero's noble deed points. If the target is a serf, for each noble deed point spent, return 1. If it's a knight, 2. Return 1. Okay. Okay. Is the first turn still determined by drops? Yes. Which is technically a change, I think. Because the core rules of third still had you rolling like a cannibal. It's just the GHB and matched play that everyone used was doing it the real way. And now it's in the core rules that drops are the thing, as far as I know. Cruel Taskmaster. Each time a friendly unit holier than 12 of this unit uses Rally. 3 additional Rally rolls. Nice. Gloomspite Gitz battle trade. Spiderfang Venom. This ability also affects companion weapons. It would have to, right? Because that's what the spiders are. Yeah. This is cleanup here. It would have to. Ahem. Previously, Muster Guard was worded so that you could only replenish 1. Now it's multiple. Nice. You'd rather have the coin flip and trash the whole regiment design idea? So far, I don't dislike regiments. I think they're reasonable. I think I like them better than battle line requirements and stuff like that. But ask me again after I've made a bunch of lists in 2 weeks or something, and I might hate them again. Did we go over points already? No. I probably won't be. I mean, I kind of will be. We'll be scrolling through it. But I'm not familiar perfectly with all of these armies, so I'm gonna, like, show them, and people from chat can let me know if they're excited about them. Bad Moon Loon Shrine. The following universal cover impassable. Okay. Hey, oh, hold on. Frostlord? What is it? What is it? Change the timing on Frostbeard to passive. Okay. Sure. Makes sense. If in the step away from the Maw ability to change declare to effect. Okay. Change the color to red for Kruleboyz, sure. Morghast Archai. This unit has a ward of 3 up against damage points inflicted by spell, prayer, and manifestations. Big ward. Skin keyword to that guy. Warriors of Chaos to those guys. Cast Lord on Manticore, cast Sorcerer Lord. Change the timing of Cling to the Shadows to passive. And the color bar to green. Alright, get your highlighter. And the Scurrying Retreat ability, change Declare to effect. Yeah. Alright. Nice, this is just some cleanup for the most part. Whether armies have legitimate choices to make between lower drops or more utility and buff pieces, and how those trade-offs are, yeah, we shall see. I think the one, I don't even know if this is a criticism, I think it is. Auxiliary seems so bad. Like, you actually might as well make it illegal, almost. Which leaves a lot of units just kind of floundering around. Auxiliary seems really punishing. How are 6 Gluttons 20 points more than 5 Brutes? Gluttons too expensive or Brutes too cheap at 200? I don't know. Brutes are very good, but 4-inch move is heinous. It's real bad for them. And gluttons are pretty good. They're just really fragile. Their armor sucks. But they're seemingly good. How do you feel about Underdog only requiring the player to be 1 victory point behind? I don't think Underdog is a good idea, the way it's implemented. The problem with Underdog is kind of like the definition of pornography. It's hard to write a all-encompassing, legally correct definition of pornography. But if you ask someone, you show them a picture and you're like, is this porn? A person will be able to very easily say yes or no immediately. And that's kind of like Underdog. Who's currently losing the game, right? Chances are both players have a real quick answer to that. But if you have to codify exactly how it is numerically, yes or no question that somebody is losing, it becomes tricky. And I think being down on points is not it. You would never associate those together. What I'm associating is the fact that a person can just look at something and instantly, easily know it. An answer to the question. But if you have to write a definition of it, sometimes it's very hard, maybe impossible. That's the thing I'm equating. Like if I just took a double turn on you and blew up all you have like 2 guys left in the whole table, but I'm technically down in victory points because I doubled you and I couldn't score a battle tactic. Technically, I'm the underdog, but I'm like winning hard, you know? And so that's weird. I think maybe, I don't know. I have 2 problems with Underdog. 1, I think it's too good, the benefits you get. And 2, I don't think it correctly determines who's losing. Those are my 2 issues with it. Aside from that, I like Underdog. Does the game even need an underdog mechanic? Yes, and here's my hot take. That's what the double turn should be. If it were different. Yes. They're going for a casual game. Age of Sigmar is meant to be a casual game. Top to bottom. Every single casual game, basically, needs an underdog mechanic. It needs a comeback mechanic. And the more casual your game is, the more extreme the comeback mechanic should probably be. Because what you want to do if you're trying to make a casual game is lessen the effect of someone being good at it. Because if you just let their skill be represented on the table, then the better player will win every time. Which is what competitive people want, but not what casual people want. If you take it to the extreme, a casual player thinks that you should win 50% of the time no matter what you do. No matter what choices you make, no matter how much you think, no matter how much you try, no matter what army or points or decisions during the game or dice rolls, just win half the time. And a competitive player thinks that the better player should always win. And there should be no chance of ever getting screwed or need luck or any, just pure skill, right? And both of these are too extreme, right? And you find a place that you intend for your game to live on that spectrum. Let's hope they playtested the underdog implementation. They for sure did in Spearhead, because those Spearhead games are very even. I think they spent much more time playtesting Spearhead than they did the real game. Much more time. Ref, a bunch of Fs. Thanks for the big prime. Appreciate it. What if Underdog was determined by army points lost? Then sometimes it would correctly predict who's losing. Like if you have lost more guys than your opponent has, sometimes that's losing, but sometimes you're making sacrificial plays. And maybe that's calculated. And so you're down on points on the table, but you're up on victory points, and maybe it's even. Or maybe you're ahead even, right? Ahem. It's hard to determine who's actually currently winning a game by just pointing to one number. Or even a bunch of numbers. And the more numbers and calculations you add to it, the more time it wastes. Army points plus VP? Sure, you just got to convert army points into a similar number to the number of VP you have now. It's not a brick wall, it's just another thing you got to do. Competitive does not necessarily mean balanced. No. But I guess neither does casual, right? There's a bunch of different types of balance. A lot. You know? People say they want balance, but generally they mean a very specific thing. And a lot of times they're not being fully truthful. $40K Gambit kind of works better. The player gets to decide if they want to take a long shot. Is the long shot common, or is it like impossible? I guess they're different enough games, right? Then. Her problem with an underdog mechanic is that it won't ever be 100% accurate because the winning player will be deliberately trying to qualify for underdog. Yes. Yeah. Is that a joke? Yeah. Yeah, and if the bad version, the worst version of underdog is something that the correct way to play is to finagle yourself into technically the underdog even though you're winning. If that was how you were like supposed to play, that would be miserable. So I hope it's not like that, but it might be. Oh, we got the 10-minute warning for the Spearhead game. It's gonna be quick. An Italian lunch break, let me tell you. You don't just want 40K with fantasy models? I don't either. The rules are awful. But the rules are different for a bunch of good reasons than AOS, right? Like, you couldn't do a lot of what you do in 40K here because it wouldn't make much sense. In some missions, you think people will aim to be the underdog at the start of round 2 or 3. Most people don't understand what balance really means. Partially because it's not clear what concept when you boil it down. It's more of a feel. Yeah. It's just, it's a shorthand for a bunch of other stuff. Most people want fairness, I guess. Less than balance. But that's an even more feely word, right? It's strange they added the underdog mechanic. I think it is too. It's strange that they added, what is it? It's strange they added miscast, right? Some of the stuff they've added just, to me, came out of nowhere. And I'm like, why even have this? It serves no purpose. It's just an extra thing you gotta remember to alter punish you for failing anyway. So there's random rules like that that are just sprinkled in that seemingly came from nowhere, or Old World or something. I feel like if you're going to add an underdog thing, you should tie it into the double turn somehow. You know, find a really good definition of underdog and get them +1 on priority. Call it a day. That's that's about as extreme of a comeback mechanic as I'm willing to offer. The issue is it's really hard to decide who's technically losing in a way that a player in a good position couldn't play towards getting, you know. One thing you don't understand about AOS coming from 40k is what's the point of the wound roll. In 40k, your roll depends on your weapon and your target, so it's distinct from hit roll and save roll. But in AOS, it seems like you just have a second hit roll. What's the point of that? Because they want rolls to fail more often than succeed. And so they added another roll in there as a little bit of granularity to differentiate weapons. I think it's RP. It's role playing a little bit, and they want things to they want the average attack to fail. Essentially. Like, it could just be hit rolls and then go right to save. You could do that. But they put a wound roll in there, so they're like, oh, now we can differentiate different types of weapons a little more. And we want the average roll to fail, so you gotta jump through 2 hoops, right? Even having a wound roll is a relic of other systems, even within GW. Yeah, I agree. That's weird. I certainly wouldn't want it to be like 40k, though. I don't like that. The FAQs system, where you gotta look at a grid and compare this thing to that thing before you make your rolls. I rather like just looking at my own war scroll and rolling and looking for a number, instead of comparing. From a let's not waste time, you know, kind of thing. But it makes sense, because in 40k you have a bunch of different armor types. Your different types of armor really matter, because what they're trying to represent is you have infantry stuff, and then you have vehicle stuff, and you have anti-armor, and you have anti-infantry, and then you have you know, you got that like gun nerd armor value crap, you know. And so they're trying to represent that in a roleplay way. So it makes sense there. Wound rolls are pretty automatic in 40k once you get used to it. I'm sure they are. Thaco was pretty automatic once I got used to it as well. And playing a first-person shooter with a controller instead of a mouse and keyboard, you can get used to that too, but it's still a strictly worse control system, right? Like, you can get used to bad systems, right? But sometimes it's okay that the system is bad if it's flavorfully bad. This is what Games Workshop does. You know? This is what Rifts does. It's flavorfully bad. Grid in 40k is long gone. Grid? What's grid? It's just lower, higher, same, double half? Okay, I haven't looked at 40k rules in a decade, so pardon me. But it does make more sense in 40k. Like, an infantry rifle should essentially do nothing ever to a tank. Just nothing. You could shoot it for a day, and it just wouldn't do anything, right? It's kind of like SDC versus mega damage in Rifts. So, you know, that makes sense to me from a outsider perspective. Damage not spilling over doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that one. In 40k, a rifle can hurt a tank. Oh, okay. Well, forget I said anything then. Never mind. Glitterboyz on call? True. Get some music going, huh? Damn, what a nice little lunch break, huh? Hour and a half, playing a little slow. Almost just like they claimed. Not bad. I think it's a good on-ramp to the game. In ways. Let's scroll up. Core rules. Oh, we got some more? Oh, I missed these? Hold up, there's more FAQs than the ones that we saw originally? Pardon me. Well, let's go through them. Too bad the Iron Blaster didn't have the good profile on the Spearhead. Yeah, that's true. But I still think it's like pretty meaningful. You disagree because you think it's all super cool, but you understand the sentiment. Ogre Monster Point drops, hell yeah. Well, they better drop. they got a hell of a lot worse. They were one of the only things where almost everything went down a lot instead of up a lot this edition change, which makes sense. If they're fun and good, then I don't care. Anyway, let's get on with this, I guess, core rule. Addenda. Some rules allow you to reroll a die, which means you get to roll some or all of the dice again. You cannot reroll a die more than once, and rerolls happen before modifiers to the roll, if any, are applied. Okay. I thought that's how it was before. Maybe they missed a word or two. No big deal. Slain models. You must remove the fewest models possible to make the unit a single coherent group. This is kind of like a no funny business kind of thing, which makes sense, but also for some people might be bad at math or positioning, and it asks them to be good at it, which is kind of interesting. Order effects. Some abilities have a delayed effect each time friendly unit uses fight ability heal. If more than one of these effects would be resolved at the same time, the active player resolves the delayed effects of their abilities first in an order of their choosing, then their opponent does the same. Cool. Fun was detected here. They could have said that, like, two good things can't proc on the same thing or something, right? Which would have been big no fun allowed. But that's kind of neat. Makes sense. Errata. Combat phase. In the declare step of the fight ability, change pile-in move to pile-in move. Huh? Oh, 15.3 instead of 15.4. Sure. Okay. Weapon abilities. Change the companion weapon ability to... Okay, how are we rewriting this rule to make sure companion sucks? This weapon is not affected by friendly abilities that affect weapon characteristics or the attack sequence. Okay. Damn. Companion. You hate to see it. Contesting objectives. Each unit can only count as contesting a single objective for the purpose of determining objective control. Before, contesting two or more, the active player must pick. For the purposes other than determining objective control, a unit can contest more than one. Okay. So there are some abilities that say if you're contesting or whatever, so that's kind of neat. Interesting. Friendly abilities from abilities used by friendly units. Yeah, it used to, when we looked into the deep lore of it. And so, okay, so technically, this thing isn't being used by a unit, it's being used by the player. So maybe you can get around it that way, and they're just like, you don't understand. You want to use any buff on companion? No. Don't try it. Using abilities. When resolving the effect of an ability that refers to a save characteristic of 3 up or better. What does or better mean? It means better. Next. Setting up objectives and terrain features. The center of the objective marker should be on the corner. Yeah, okay. Center of the... They wanted to know if you can scoot it off of the table, and you actually can. Makes sense. Moving across terrain. Rules for moving across terrain state that the model cannot end a move mid-climb. How can you tell if a model is mid-climb? A model is mid-climb if it is not possible to rest it on its base in that location without additional support if it sits, it fits. Okay, cool. What abilities? Can I combine multiple instances of the same weapon ability? For example, if a weapon already has anti-infantry rend 1, and it can gain that ability from another source, would it now have +2 rend against infantry units? I'll go ahead and answer this one. Yes, of course. I mean, what kind of game do you think we're making? We want people to have fun, right? Anyway, what's their answer? No. Okay. Every day we stray further from second. Guarded heroes. If an ability allows me to ignore the effects of the guarded hero ability when picking targets, would the attacking unit still be affected by the -1 hit penalty from guarded hero? I'll answer this. No. Oh wait, it's yes. Never mind. Okay. Advanced ability rules. If a rule says to pick a number of units with one keyword or another, pick up to 3 friendly infantry or cavalry. Can you pick a combination, or is it all or nothing? You can mix and match. Cool. It's good to know. Oh, I saw the word persisting effect here. Those become passive abilities and you can't benefit from 2 same passives, I think. That's how I read that shit too, but they don't mention it here at all, or explain why. And I think that's a really weird multiple levels of inference to rely upon. You know? You think they would spell it out. I guess they did spell it out here in a certain way. If a persisting effect applies to a unit that is destroyed, and another ability allows that unit to return to the battlefield, does the persisting effect apply to the returned unit? I'll answer this one. No. God, no. You set up an identical unit, right? But it isn't the same unit. It's a different one. And they agree. The answer is no. Yeah, of course not. Of course not. And then we get into the other stuff. All right. We got these already. Back to the top. Anyway. Ahem. It's a new object. Yeah, it's like flickering in Magic, right? Battle profiles. Regiments of Renown. You cannot include more than 1 regiment of renown in your army unless otherwise specified in the notes column. Units in a regiment of renown cannot use, but can be picked as the target of, if otherwise eligible, any faction rules from the faction they are allied to, including enhancements and lores, unless they have a keyword that matches that. Okay. If an ability allows you to set up a replacement unit, the new one is also a regiment of renown. Makes sense. Warhammer Legends. Every Citadel miniature is a unique piece of the ever-evolving narrative of Warhammer. It's just some of them are in the trash. It is, then, an unfortunate truth that we can't continue to sell and support every model we've ever made indefinitely. True. As we make new models and new books to explore their background and rules, we have to stop producing and featuring some older models, just like many of you who are older. Are you calling me an older model? We'll stop featuring some older models, just like many of you. Anyway, we still treasure our collections of older Citadel miniatures. Nope. Nope. Every Ogre model that I had that went onto Legends, fucking free throw straight into the garbage. And stay out. As soon as this Finecast stuff gets updated, I'm going to actually slam dunk my Finecast models into the dumpster outside, and I will do so in a celebratory manner. And we still want to be able to use them in games and forge glorious narratives on the tabletop. We want you to oblige all your friends to play custom, different, I'm special, change everything for me rules. And they kind of can't say no because it's kind of a dick move, but they're being a dick by asking you. And so you kind of have to, and how long will they keep playing? And just play with current stuff. Fine cast derogatory, not fine, yeah. Alright, Cities of Sigmar. I will just be scrolling through here and pointing out a thing or two as I see it. I don't play most of these armies, so I don't have any keen insights here unless I've done research for a video, right? Dreadlord on Black Dragon is 300. Assassin is 120. Let's go. Okay. Oh, the Vendenses are still around. I thought they might be gone. Pontifex 240, Sorceress 120. Taliavedra 310. I like how it tells you the regiment options and it separates the heroes from other units in two big color-coded areas. That's very nice. Tells you the base size right over here. You can't, maybe you can't see it because chat is there, but I really like this layout. First of all, we finally won. It's in alphabetical order. And you have a big old heroes section and a unit section. Both in alphabetical order. Let's go. We finally did it. Just nice, man. Fusel Major on Orc Warhulk is 180, which is pretty high, but I remember his buff being good. I wonder if it'll be worth it. Steam Tank's pretty expensive, 340. The War Dong King. Command Core 190. This unit cannot be reinforced. But it's not unique. Gyrocopter, Fusiliers, Steel Helms, super cheap. 10 for a hundo, 10 for 120. Cavaliers 170 for 5. Ironweld Great Cannon 130. Daughters of Kahani. Where is she? 760. That's expensive. That's a lot of points. She's way worse than in previous edition because no more like fight twice command point thing from the Maratha Kane, half of it, right? Which is something that was so strong you built your whole army around it, essentially. In the context of this edition, being invincible is really good. She slaps almost harder now. What else we got? Cauldrons are like 300 and a half. Blood Sisters are 140, Bloodstalkers are 140. Okay, both 140. Melusai Infantry. Doomfire Warlocks 150. Shadow Stalkers 110. Heartrenders and Life Takers still good. Sisters with some stuff. They think the sacrificial knives are better than the bucklers. They are right. Paired Seance. 110s. Fire Slayers. 350 for Runefather on Magmadroth, and then the Rune Sun is trash, so he is way cheaper. And then the Rune Smiter is almost as expensive as the Runefather is. Battlesmith 110, super cheap. Flamekeeper 130, nice and cheap. Rune Smiter 120. Okay. Yeah. Heroes are looking super good. 120 to 140 for 5-man units. Oh, you get 10 Volkites still. And then the Flame Seekers are the most, well, not really the most, because these are 5s. Alright, Fireslayer points looking kind of good. I don't know what they used to be. I know Deep Can. Double Eidolons, 350 and 330. I don't think the Eidolons are that good. But I don't play the army. So there might be something I've been missing. Where's the turtle? How much is the turtle? Because the turtle's really good. Oh, he's 500 points. Okay. Yeah. Because the turtle basically has the stats of the old Frostlord on Stonehorn, essentially. And so this is how much the old Frostlord on Stonehorn would cost in the new points, basically, is 500. Alright, yeah. I mean, the turtle looked really good. But that's a quarter of your entire army. Reavers are down to 130. Thralls are down to 120. Morrsarr Guard 170 still. Ishlane 180. Oh, do you think Ishlane are better than Morrsarr now? I can't remember what their new war scroll is. And then Alapexes are 1. And I guess you can reinforce them. It doesn't say you can't. So you could have a unit of 2 sharks, I think. Boltinos is 270. Soulrender, Soulscryer. Tidecaster 150. That's a lot for a Tidecaster. I guess it's a Isharan Emissary. You can't reinforce because it is a single model. Okay, so we can't ever do that then. Makes sense. I was a little addled because you used to be able to do that with Alapexes for a bunch of different goofy reasons, and they had like bloodthirsty shivers of 3 of them and stuff, but we just decided to get rid of all that. They're just single little cavalry running around now. Which makes all sharks like an impossible army to make, almost. Well, I don't know, they're like 200 each-ish. It's the number of regiment slots you're filling up. KO. Chemist, Navigator, Admiral 180. That's a lot. That's up. Brock Lesnar. Lord Magnate. Cave Johnson. 290. Code Right is 110. Very low. Janus Flint, 180. 220 for the generic Endrin Master. Admiral's up, but do you think he's also an auto take? Well, in that case, then I suppose fair enough, right? Everybody just gets Sky Vessel, of course, which makes sense. Company 110 for 10. Frigate is 320. Ironclad is 500. That's a lot. Okay. We're in turtle pricing. And 130 for 3. Sky Wardens are more by a considerable amount. Gun Haulers 200 and Thunderers are 140 for 5. Okay. Lumineth and Rumble, look at all these things. Alright, look at all your heroes. Lumineth, you guys gotta chill. Alright. Fucking relax. Lumineth. Teclis, 590. I heard he's got a 5-up save, though. Maybe they're getting some points off for that one. Valinor, 410. Big. I like the brother and sister ones. They're cool. They had fun rules. 280's a lot, but they had fun rules. Lyrior Uthrail, the Warden of America. 240. Light of Eltharion, 250. 0-1 Lumineth Paragon. This hero can join an eligible regiment as a Lumineth Paragon. Bannerblade, huh? Okay. Are you the only Paragon? Okay. KO very pricey overall for a shooting army with no magic, and the addition with nerfed shooting and free magic. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that as a priest army with no manifestations myself. We'll see how it turns out. Glad someone else pronounces it America. Well, it's obviously Ymetrica, but it's America. It just is. It's America, right? Alora 330, Stoneguard 135, Spirit. Sentinels 150 for 10, 140 for 10. Blade Lords 140 for 5. These guys are cool. Dong Riders, Star Shard Ballista, and the River Blades, whom I can't recall what they are. Yeah, it does look like they're thinking to the future Immortal Ajax, I think, with this. Like they can add whatever they want to technically be a Lumineth Paragon in the future. How much was Teclis? $590. And after, like, you know, Marathi was $780, $760 or something like that. So Marathi up, Teclis down. Although Teclis has a 5-up save now, supposedly. Pretty fragile. How many turtles is that? Seraphon, Lord Croak, almost turtle cost. I like how the value of points is now just how many turtles is that. Astrolith Bear 150. This hero can join an eligible regiment as a favored spawning. Okay, sure. Old Blood and Connoisseur 330. Scar Veteran 270. A lot different. Ahem. $270, $290 for those two. Engine of the Gods. Nope. Hunters of Huan Chi. Huan Chi on this pizza. Croxagore 220 for 3. That's a lot. That's expensive. Skinks 10 for a hundo. He's the strongest 3 Raditzes. The Turtle Purchasing Index, yeah. Stormcast Eternals, alright. Well, if we were complaining about having too many units, we're in the big leagues now. Asterisk Soulblight, who is part of Sarcosanct and so should be retired. But I guess she's here still. For now. Same with Aventus Cheap Strike. Oh, they put a note here. Yeah, okay. I see. And Gavriel Sureheart. This unit will move to Warhammer Legends on 1 June 2025. I like how they tell you that. This unit will move to the trash. Drake Sworn Templar 460. Celston Prime. Big Primer 360. And then Stormcast Exemplar. Which, oh, okay, that's Knight Vexilor. That's Knight Questor. That's Oh, okay, that's it. Those two guys. Ahem. Hey, don't buy this guy. Yeah, do not do it. Crazy the Scared, 500. No. I don't know, Cryptborn 420 Blaze it. Night Draconis is 280. Arcanum is 120. Relictor 120. Vexillor 120. Krondys is even more expensive than Crazy. I think Crazy is better than Krondys, but maybe I'm crazy. I don't want to pay 500 for either of them, that's for fucking sure. Lord Arcanum. All this stuff is going away. Even Lord Castellan. I like the Lord Castellan. I like that guy. What about the Knight, hold up. What about the Knight Incanter? Was that one? Oh. Rest in peace. The best wizard in the entire game. So sad. And the best waifu. Very sad. She has 2 different models even. Oh well. Lord Commander Bastion Carthelos slimmed down the 270. Lord Imperaton sticks around. Lord Ord, yeah, this thing never panned out, did it? You were letting Cities of Sigmar and Stormcast really soup up, and then you made Lord Ordinator, and then you told them to stop souping. Lord Terminos. Neve Blacktown is 360? Holy shit. Did she get the Yndrasta treatment? Is she huge now? That's crazy. Oh, that's the stupid spear thing. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that's the Warcry, whatever underworld thing. Yeah. I thought it was, thinking about the old Neve Blacktown that was just one model. Bastion Scroll got changed a lot. Oh, did it? I hope not. I kind of liked it. I liked its simplicity. Aether Wings, 3 for 90. That's very expensive, and they're beast, but, you know, it's 3 fast flyers that give you victory points, so I guess that's what they gotta cost. Normal Annihilators, only 180. The ones that you want to take, 220 for 3. Okay, well, if Croxagores are 220 for 3, then Annihilators might as well be 220 for 3, right? That must just be the cost of them. All this stuff is going to Legends. I can't believe the Dracothian Guard aren't going to Legends. They really should. They look so bad. They look so bad. Anyway. Looks like you can take them in one... I don't know. You can include 1 unit of this type for each Lord Celestant on Dracoth in your army. Interesting. The weirdo units of 2 thing. Yeah, a shitload of this stuff is going away, to be fair. More Stormcast. Grift Hounds. Liberators are 120 for 5. Prosecutors are pretty kind of up there. Stormdrake Guard 360 for 2. Stormdrake Guard 1 model 180. include 1 unit of this type for each Knight Draconis in your army. Yeah, if you buy the box and split it, then you get a special one-time offer of one of them. Sylvaneth. Alariel, almost 700. That's a lot. She can come back to life, I guess. And Big Rezo. Yeah, Stormdrake Guard are the Dragon Riders. Dracothian Guard are the Corgis. That's the difference between them. Arch Revenant 170. Belthanos, the First Thorn of Kronos, 330. I can't remember his War Scroll. Spirited Durthu, Lady of Vines. Tree Lord's a hero now. He used to be a non-hero monster, man. Straight up a hero. He got Kingmead. Tree Lord Ancient 320. Warsong Revenant. Man, your heroes are expensive in this army. You get a Branch Witch, an Arch Revenant, and then like everything is... Yeah, your heroes are pricey. Draicha, 310. And then Dryads, 110 for 10. Gossamet Archers, 120 for 5. Kurnoth Hunters are all 200 for 3. The bow guys, maybe not, but everybody else, sure. Revenant Seekers, 200 for 3. Spy Revenants, Spite Rider Lances. The Twist Wield and Tree Revenants. Scythes are down 50 points. Alariel down 120. Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't know anything about Sylvaneth. Man, you know, I looked over the Sylvaneth faction folk, or the Sylvaneth battle traits, and I really didn't like them. I didn't like them. Perhaps Sylvaneth players do, and I'm not the target audience. Like that could be a thing, you know. But it did not spark joy. Beast of Chaos. Womp 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 womp. Blades of Corn. Rob was very upset about Sylvaneth. Oh, was he upset about the points or the rules? Because I don't know enough to judge the points. But the rules did not look great. They didn't spark joy. The rules are super terrain based. Yeah, I don't like that. So which is why I say that maybe it's like a player targeting thing. Like, because I don't like interacting with terrain, obviously I wouldn't like the army that's meant to do that the most, right? So Blades of Corn. Bloodthirsters are mid 400. Ooh, that's expensive. I mean, they're good, but that's expensive. 510 for Scarbrand. 420 Blaze It for the Wrath of Corn Bloodthirster. Okay. Bloodthirsters went up a lot, but they got a lot better too. So, okay. Ahem. Blood Warriors, 210 for 10. Well, you get 10 of them. Oh, I thought they would be 5s. I thought the Blood Warriors would be 5s. They recombined them back up into 10s. Okay. Fair enough. Same with Bloodletters, Blood Reavers. Blood Crushers. 200 for 10 Bloodletters. Are the bombs back? 400 points for a Bloodletter bomb? How do you even... If Bloodthirsters are like 470, 440, 420, what you're meant to do, what they want you to do, is go one of each and have it be like the old Circle of Blood or whatever it's called. So it's like, that's almost 1,500 points just for them. Hey, I guess you want to be top heavy, you can. Flesh Hounds, which are trash. They're a beast and they don't unbind anymore. But I guess if you want technically the cheapest unit in the army, sure. Korgorath, that goofy ass thing. Mighty Skull Crushers, 260. That's a lot, but those are these are the guys with 2-up base saves now. Skull Reapers are exactly twice as expensive as Blood Warriors. And then Wrath Mongolers, 150 for 5. Is 150 worth the buff? Yeah, cost about as much as a hero who buffed it would, I guess. Ahem. Disciples of T-Zench. Kairos Feyweaver, 440. Lord of Change, 360. Lord of Change looked bad to me. Kairos Feyweaver looked like he reached outside of the game and grabs victory points and just puts them on your side of the table. Like a fourth wall breaking maneuver, right? Everything else, sure. Dawn Summoner on disc, 250. Blue Horrors and Brimstone Horrors. Pink Horrors. 10 for 140. That's good. It's a bunch of foam that explodes and deals mortals to your opponent for dying. Troops here seem very cheap since you can't really tarp it in the same way. Yeah, well, 10 pink horrors is no longer like 55 wounds worth of guys anymore. So, points going down makes sense. A bunch of chariots and flamers. Everything's real cheap over here. You almost can't get anything expensive. Almost. Can you not use Archaon outside of slaves anymore? I'm not sure. I don't know. He Knights of Slanesh. Glutos is almost turtle level. Ahem. Allies are gone, so no. Well, he might be a regiment of renown, right? Is what I was thinking. Infernal Raptures. Keeper Secrets, 440. Shalaxi, 490. Damn, that's almost a turtle. Fiends, 150 for 3. Painbringers, 130 for 5. Twin Souls, also 130 for 5. Slick Blade Seekas, 180 for 5. Archaon is not in a regiment of renown? Alright, then you cannot. No more Archaon in other armies. Nurgle. Oh, these guys are in the 300s now. Alright. Blue Aberrats Bond, Orgoth's Daemon Spew, and Morbidex Twiceborn. They're back up to the 300s. Guo is almost a turtle. Gutrout Spume, 180, let's go. Harbinger of Decay, ugh. Lord of Afflictions, that has all the cool keywords. How much is Rodicus? He's a turtle. The Glotkin is a turtle and change. Somebody Bowpiper. Only 110. His buff is really good, but it targets demons only. Maybe that's the balancing part of it. Beasts of Nurgle. Keyword beast. Well, okay. I mean, that's what they are. Nurglings. Plague drones. Plague bearers. Puskull Blightlords. Putrid Blight Kings. Realmark Creed. $200 for 5, huh? What does the beast keyword do? It means that your control score is 1. It can't be improved or anything. It's just your control score is 1. And I think it even means control score at the end of the day. So even if you have 5 guys on it, if they're beasts, it still just counts as 1 only. I think. That part might not be clear, but yeah, your control is 1 and it can't be improved. Supposedly, that's pretty bad this edition. Can beast control score be lowered or just set at 1? I think it can be lowered. I think you can be 0 capture maybe. I'd have to look it up. I'm sure it says what the minimum is somewhere. A lot of times minimums tend to be 1, but perhaps it's 0. I think it'd be cool if it was 0. Core rules say minimum of 1. Okay, yeah, then it's just always 1 and that's it. Skaven. Gracier 120. Screaming Bell 350. Lord Screech 430. Thankwell 360. And then the Vermin Lords hovering in the upper 300s, low 400s. Warps here cheapest. Clan rats are 20 for 160, so 80 for 10, in other words. Technically, we still have Globadiers. You cannot include more than 1 Scryer weapon team in a regiment led by a non-Scryer hero. Cool, but you still can. How nice. I mean, it would be cooler if you could just do whatever, but you know. Doomflare, Doomwheel. Doomwheel is real cheap. It's Doomwheel cheap. Hellpit A-Bomb, 270 for 1. Night Runners, can we just retire these, please? Plague Monks, to be perfectly honest. Ratogers. Stormfiends, 260 for 3. Warp Lightning Cannon, 180 for 1. Now, it has a hidden cost. You do need that guy next to it, right? But still. You'll love to see it. Warp Lightning Cannon is cheaper than most other artillery in the game, but it does have a hidden cost. Also, if you shoot it 2 times, it statistically blows itself up on the second shot after overcharging it. Sensor Bearers and Gutter Runners are gone. Yeah, there's only Night Runners and Globadiers. Hidden cost, greatest. Archeon 890. I don't remember looking at his war scroll and thinking, yeah, 900. Abraxia 360. I hope she's good, because she looks really cool. That's expensive. That's expensive, but maybe she's really good. I don't know what her war scroll looks like in the new edition. No Plague Priest on foot. Somebody should do a video about that guy. Hey, I'm way ahead of you. Good meme. Good meme. Be'lakor is only 410. I say only, that's really expensive. But Be'lakor looked so good from his War Scroll. I was fearing that he would be higher. Archaon looks like 660 at best, unless we're all missing something. It's possible we're all missing something, but I looked at his War Scroll, and it... like... I don't know. I wasn't thinking about a number anywhere in the zip code of 900. Hey, anyway. Chaos Lord on stuff is mid 200s. There's that Manticore again. War Shrine, that's still around. Demon Prince 280, okay. Demon Prince, yeah, playing 2. Nah. At 280, I'm not trying to play 2 of them, I don't think. I think this kills the fun, play 2 of them for fun thing. Where's the Chaos Sorcerer Lord on foot? Still 120. He's a working man. Still got it. Chaos Sorcerer Lord is so cheap still, but the real cost of this guy is what regiment to put him in, I think. So his points are deceiving. It looks like you could just put him anywhere, but finding a place to put him might be the tough part. I still consider him Mr. Auto-Include, but... Sorcerer Lord lost demonic power, so now he's pretty bad. Humongously disagree. He is worse than he used to be because he lost demonic power. That's true. But he has a free War Scroll ability that's excellent, and he's a wizard, which puts him ahead of 90% of the foot wizards in the whole game. So, to me, he's a cheap foot wizard with an ability that simply works and is great. And so he's ahead of a lot. It should be 666 for the meme. Yes, it should. They should come up with the points for Archaon. It should be 666. And then you build the War Scroll based on that number first, I think. Man, Slaves to Darkness points are going to be really tight. They're going to be hard. Chosen are 250 for 5. A 10-man unit is 500. A 10-man unit is 1 turtle. A turtle index. Ooh, Chaos Furies don't have the beast keyword. I thought they would. Yo, Fury stonks. Chaos Knights 250 for 5 as well. Legionnaire is hella cheap. Chaos Warriors 200 for 5. Where are the Vanguard? 10 Chosen could probably fight a turtle. I think they could probably fight a turtle. Bobby Briccolini is a monster. Okay, I was looking at, I'm like, where's the B section? Because my brain doesn't work. And I'm like, Bobby Briccolini? No, it's Fomeroid Crusher. He's gained the monster keyword. 150 for 1. Cheapest monster in the whole game, maybe. Potentially the cheapest monster in the whole game. Warriors are 200 for 10, not 200 for 5. Did I say 5? If I did, I misspoke. But yeah, it's clearly 200 for 10. Oh, I just had to scroll down. I thought there was still plenty of room down here, but I was wrong. Mindseer Spheranx 170. I wonder if it still has a fight last thing onto it. Fuck Beast Chariot, very cheap. Almost non-existent. Therodon's 200 for 3. Raptoriux. Ooh, these are cheaper. And Beast like, Beast sucks, but you might not care. If you're trying to absolutely squeeze points, I don't know, I think I still like Furies, but they're 12 flying as far as I recall. Soul Grinder, whatever. Vanguard, 310 for 3. Vanguard are 100 points a model. Ahem. Are they worth that? I haven't seen their war scroll. I think they combined all their weapons in a good way. And they still have double pylon. Yeah, it's for sure in Giga. We have it, for sure. 310 for 3 Vanguard. The horses have fangs. Of course they're worth that, yeah. In every faction, stuff feels so pricey, maybe a little too much. As long as it happens to everybody, then it's like, kinda whatever. Obviously, some armies scale better than others, right? Some of them, like, depending on your army, you might scale down really poorly. So it's not, like, completely even or fair or anything like that, but... Flesh-eater Quartz. Almost 400 for your bigs. Nagash, 880. That's a lot. 10 points cheaper than Archeon. Big Oosh is almost a turtle. Crypt Flyers, 2 models. Oh, you can do that if you included one from the box of things, sure. Crypt Guard, 10 for 120. That's pretty good. I kind of liked Crypt Guard when I saw him. Ghouls are 20 for 170. That's a lot. That's a lot of dudes. Does the Terrorgeist still explode? Probably not. It still has the vicious bite thing though. In a manner. 280 for Terrorgeist, 290 for Royal Zombie Dragon. Oh, I get to tell CJ. Because, so, we were thinking that the Terrorgeist is way the fuck better than Zombie Dragon. But it was possible the Games Workshop fucked up. Because Zombie Dragon has a deep strike. Even though you don't care about that on that type of unit. And so they might have fucked up, and the AI that does their points might accidentally point Zombie Dragon higher than Terrorgeist. And we were hoping that it would. And it has in FEC. Oh, he's going to be thrilled about that. I wonder if it's the same thing in Soulblight. They think the Terrorgeist is worse than Zombie Dragon. Let's go. That's great. Big ups. I'm skipping ahead real quick. Oh, no, I'm not. Because it's all the way to S. We'll look at it again there. I can't. Bunch of cheapo heroes in the edition that punishes you humongously for running more than like 2 hero. I guess you could do 3 because a lot of your guys are named. Lady Olindir 300. Kratos 200. Okay. Reikenor 210. Black Coach 260 for 1. Bladegeist Revenants 150. Grimghast Reapers 140. Herodans 150. Okay. Or are you punished for taking characters? I phrased it in a very player-centric way, but essentially, the way you build armies now is just in big blocks of 1 hero plus stuff. 3 stuff. And that stuff can't be a hero unless you're using a specific named person that allows you to do that. So the more heroes you play, the more drops you are. And the more drops you are, the more likely that your opponent gets to choose who goes first. And the more likely your opponent is to choose who goes first, the more likely they're going to choose something bad for you and good for them. Because it's, you know, there it is. And so it's, I guess there's a lot of steps to it now that I think about it. But good question. And again, running a lot of heroes is good. It's what you want to do, right? It's fun. So. Some Night Hunt heroes can double up in regiments. Oh, Cursed Souls. Yeah, true. Karen Wraith, Lord X, and Scriptor Mortis. Anybody can bring along a black coach almost. Nice. Ossiarch Bonereapers. Archcavalier Xantos is 230. Archon the Black is all the way up to 410. Catacros Mortarch of Turtleopolis. Mortarch of the Tortopolis. Man's a turtle. He is way worse than he used to be. But probably still good. 210, Liege Cavaliers, Mortesians. Nice and cheap. Vok Mortian, this guy was real good, I thought. 190. Harvester 230 for 1. Immortus Guard 200 for 3. Cavalos Death Riders. Let's go. 5 for 180, I consider a win here. Cavalos Death Riders got better, I think. Nice. Morghast are crazy expensive. Crazy expensive. Mortec Crowla, almost 300. Jesus. Okay. Okay. Remember when I said Mortec Crawler was good and I was surprised? This is why. Because it's 280. Ugh. Okay. Blendermen are 3 for 180 and Tyrannic Cohort. Who? Whatever. Mortec Guard are 130 for 10. Okay. Yeah, I think 190 does seem fine. Like, Vok Mortian's good. He seemed good on paper. There's a difference between good on paper and makes it into a list, obviously, but hold on, I'm skipping ahead. Zombie Dragon 290. Terrorgeist 180. They fucked up. Let's go. They think Zombie Dragon is better than Terrorgeist? You best be joking. However, that's great. They made a mistake in CJ's favor. Belladama Volga 230. Bloodseeker Paladin. Oh, Kato Easy Chair. Kato leaning way back in that easy chair. 180. All this random shit can be eligible regiment for the Viercoast Retainer nonsense. Locofies 320. Manfred von Manstein 410. Well, that fits Archon, I guess. Neferata 460. Prince Longdong 480. What about a normal Velocida? A cool 400. Alright. Alright, I'll take it. Vincorian Lord 330. Chadukar the Based 350. That's way more than I want to pay for that guy. He was looking really cool, but that's more than I want. Vampirico Generico, 160. Black Knights, 160 for 5. Blood Knights, 230 for 5. Okay. Good, I think. I was expecting Blood Knights to be expensive, because, like, they're always supposed to be expensive, you know? Deadwalker Zombie are 20 for 150, the price is right. Skeletons are 10 for 100. Direwolves are 10 for 140. Bats are nice and cheap. Terrorgeist. Nice. Bone Splitters. Bum 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 bum. Wow. Wow, they had fucking nothing anyway. This is every war scroll in their whole jeez. Gloomspite Gitz. Dankhold Trago Boss. Okay. Fungal Cave Shaman 100. Kragnos 680. Loon Boy. Loon Boy on Mango Twigs only 260. That being said, I've seen the War Scroll, and I kind of agree. It'd be cool if this thing was really good. Trug the Tug King, 360. Skregrat 220 is a lot, but I guess it controls your stupid terrain or battle tactic ability. Big Spoders are 300. Did you miss Ogres? You did not. Arachnarok Spider with Finger, 290. Arachnarok Spider throwing a Spider Fang birthday party, 280. Boingy Boys, 120 for 5. The Dank Trogs, 180. Fellwater, 180 for 3. Gobblepalooza, this unit cannot be reinforced. They used to have 5 fun guys, now it's all the... Yeah. Shooters, Stabbers, 20 for 140, cheaper than Zombos. Loon Smasher Fanatics are good. Wait, there's Loon Smasher and Loon Sniffer. Like, what are the other ones called? The goofy ones with the fumes. Spore Splatter, right? I think these are the fume ones. Or no, the Sneaky Snufflers. Okay, I was thinking of Snufflers, not Loon Sniffer Fanatics. The Snorflers. 140, huh? Okay. Spore Splitter have a cool buff too, and they're only 120, I think. Sadapalooza, yeah. Gobblepalooza used to be really fun. They sucked it dry. They took all the pigment out. It's in fucking black and white now. Alright, so your shit's actually pretty cheap. One thing I noticed with Gloomspite Gitz, everybody's points in the whole game went up a lot. Gitz, not so much. Made it worse and relatively cheaper. Iron Jowls. Ardboy Big Boss. 450 for Gordrak the Fist of Gork. Are you essentially a demigod made from the cracked knuckle of a greater god? The Master of Wa Energy, Chosen One, or a normal turtle? Normal turtle. More expensive. Gordrak is Rend 1. Let's go. Megaboss 230. Is that Megaboss on foot is 230? Dude, this guy is huge. The cost. Okay. 420 Blaze It on the Megaboss on Maw Crusher. The Tug Boss on Maw Tugga. 300. War Chanter 120. Nice and cheap. Shaman 130. Zogrock Anvil Smasher. On foot, but he's worth it. He looks good. He's got good ability. He's too dense to swim. Yeah, he would die every time. Ardboys, 180 for 10. They're very good. Brute Rages, 200 for 5. They went up like 1,000,000. They doubled their damage, though, on their War Scroll, so fair. So slow. Ugh. Maw-grunted Gougers. This is where you get your Strike Last from, but it's only the turn that you charge. How many Ardboys can you fit into a list? Asking for a friend. Hey, alright. Gorgruntas are 3 for 190. The points don't seem crazy here, but I don't know enough. Kruleboyz. Gobsprak 380. Vulture 290. Gnash Tooth. Stabgrot. Merknob with Belcha Bana. Snadjaboss, Scumdirak. Alright. Beast Skewer Killbow. Gut Riplas. These guys are good now. Everybody tells me. Killbow doubled in points. Yes, it did. It was on the race to the bottom throughout all third. It went down 10 points basically every 3 months for 3 years. And we got to start back at the top. Monster Killers. Manskewer Bolt Boys 110 for 3. Best you can get as a unit is 6. And then the Sloggoth. Yeah, I was about to mention that. The Snatchaboss is 60 points more than Scum. So he's a unique named guy who's 60 entire points cheaper than his Generico Vampirio guy. Which is kind of funny. But also probably right. Oh shit, the Ogres. Bloodpelt Hunter. Butcher, any Gorger Mawpack, any Gutbusters. Oh, it specifically calls out Gorger Mawpack. I guess they don't have the keyword. They still don't have the Gutbuster keyword. True. Noblars, no keywords at all. I didn't notice that. That puts a wrench in things. It does throw a wrench in things for Gutbusters. Red Wee. Thanks for the tier 1, I appreciate it. Thanks for being a recent subscriber. Even though we're just looking through points. But, hey, thanks a lot. Frostword on Stonehorn, 360. 0-1 Icebrow Hunters. Why? Why would you want one? Any Ogre Mawtribes. But clearly not a hero. And then any BCR for the rest. So the reason why you would want to take a Tyrant is because it gives you access to your Noblars. Otherwise, you aren't allowed Noblars, because you would... I don't know. I don't play Gutbusters, so maybe I'm being a little flippant here. But I looked at the Tyrant War Scroll, and I'm like, I'm never taking this guy. This guy sucks. If I'm going to take 2 heroes in an army, it's going to be a Slaughtermaster and a Butcher. And if I'm going to take 3 heroes, it's going to be 2 up on one of, like, double up on one of those. And if I'm going to take 6 heroes in an army, it's still not going to be a Tyrant. And so the way that they're wanting you to do that is, if you want access to one of your most important things in Gutbusters, you have to take the shit guy. I guess you could take a Frostword on Stonehorn, but I don't think a Gutbuster army wants a Frostword on Stonehorn. I don't think you want that either. You know? It's not that much faster than your guys anymore. It's not durable at all, which was the reason why you wanted him before, is that he was fast and durable. He does none of those 2 things anymore, from the perspective of a Gutbuster half of the army. I don't think you want them. I think you just want to put more boys on the ground. Damn, that sucks. Let's go down. Thunder Tusk is 270. Pretty cheap for that guy. Bloodbowl Hunter 170, Butcher 140, and Slaughtermaster 130. Okay. I think Slaughtermaster is better than Butcher. But maybe I'm crazy. They're pretty close in any case. Frost Sabers are 70 for 2. They're now 35 points a model. That's way more than I want to pay for them, but you got to do what you got to do. I think this should be like, can these be like a unit of 5 or something? I don't know. And then change the points however you want. 120 for 20. 260 for 5 is nuts. I think that's too much. Yahitis. They're infantry. Ooh, I thought they might be beast, but they're not beast. Interesting. That's good. Ahem. Iron Blaster 240. Iron Guts 240. Lead Belcher is 150 for 4. Mournfang 200 for 2 is a lot. They went up 50. Their War Scroll got better, to be fair. 400 points for 4 of them, though. I don't know if I want that. I'm going to test it out. I want them to be good. Glutton's at 220 for 6. I consider it basically a win. 700 Beast Riders 290. That's a lot. Didn't go down that much. Stayed the same. Got way worse. Stayed about the same points. Thundertusk Beast Riders 240. Okay. Frostlord may take them, but not Heywoah. Yeah, I think you really want Noblars if you're in a Gutbuster army. If you're in a Beastclaw army, you probably don't. They don't, there's only 2 of them. You can't actually really screen with them very well. They kind of just don't work as screens. Frost Sabers are like, go and get the points guys, right? And Nobblers are too slow for your army, really. If you could fly, you'd take Noblars and Beastclaw, I think, but... Frost Sabers trigger Trampling Charge? Maybe. I have to look when the index comes out to see if the keyword says, like, Ogre, or if it says Ogre Mawtribe, or whatever, what have you. Sons of Bigamot. Ooh, okay. Beast Pounder, 470. Backbreaker, 500. Can we do it? 4 Gatebreakers, 2,000 points. It says Ogre or Rhinox. Okay, yeah, so they do not. King Big, 520. Objective Kika, 470. And Bad Stomper, 460. Alright. This army looks fun as hell. And really, really dumb. You love to see it. Man Crusher Gargant, 160 for 1. Yeah, these guys are awful. And then a Mob, 420 Blaze It for 3. And then the Regiments of Renown. Mercenary units, unit summary, and points. So the destruction ones. Big Drog Fort Kicker. Oh, but you get to use the actual thing. Because before the capture for the capture rating for the monsters was faction locked. But if it's not anymore, then these make amazing allies. Regiments of Renown. I'm kind of concerned now. Hold up. I'm kind of concerned now. What do you give your opponent if you play a Regiment of Renown again? What do they get from that? Does that count as an auxiliary? Because one Gatebreaker for 500 is the best way I could spend 500 points in my army, I think. Nothing even comes close. Nothing, it's just an extra drop. Okay. So it is an extra drop. That is, you know, that's a cost. Yeah, that's a cost. And you can only take one, sure. If this guy captures 20, then yeah, because this for this many points kind of kicks rocks. But you had to fit those 500 points in a drop anyway. True. But it essentially it would be a third one. I think it would just be a third one instead of a second one. Also, dude, if I'm gonna play giants, I should just play a giant army. I'm playing ogres. They finally don't make me play Kragnos anymore. Why am I fleeing, you know? Play the boys. Alright, that's it for the points. Thanks for watching. We got a little bit of a walk. We cut the walk short. Apologies. But we went over the points. Had a quick little Italian lunch break spearhead game. Frank on the rocks. Always a good time. And, hey, tomorrow, indexes come out. For order. Not for everyone. They could just click a button and all of them could be out. But they gotta drip feed it. They want that CCV for each separate day of you going to their website. And so, we'll be going there Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday, and so on and so forth. Do you like Spearhead? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Spearhead's alright. I really, look, I gave it... You asked the question, I did not frivolously just throw away. I really thought about that one. I went into the tank on that question. Pure truth over here. Alright. I don't think I'll ever play it again. But, I think I liked it. Yeah, I did like Spearhead. Yeah. Just being 100% certain. Anyway, thanks for watching. I might just see you guys tomorrow, because that's what my schedule says. 9 indexes. It might not be the entire day. But, anyway, please look forward to Discord. The big day. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.